al bodo susray budul mar klay rubugul belaw pilung ebir klay mar masil belaw President Senate Locons Paules marugul senators Speaker Anastasio marugul delegates Governors Speakers Lators togubet el susriyid mar arbek el other belaw el ngara blur ayal mar hotcharigi mangara ikla blur bela al sils mal suad mutialte al mal mrenga suli radra media no sé lo mangiat Mr. Gosoley Miss Leilani Claim diregal ngawakla tisod el aisra blue lo sea no mangiat al sils sin artiang Minister of Finance Minister Uduy Minister Obiang Minister Education Jenkins Minister State Aitaro Minister Matul Madiregal Acting Director Tamadik Hinablugo Magada Manmering Asul Artiang I'm sure Mtoa Germ Haldik briefly go the update Rigida the Bora Germangir Ma Kotrule Kidam de Asing Manania Klol Koriol Namra Ablura Taiwan. So we want to wish of course send our prayers and sympathies especially to the people and the President of Taiwan during this difficult time of the latest earthquake. We know as of today there's 13 that lives were taken and of course 6 still unaccounted for. But our prayers are with those families and the people of Taiwan during this very difficult time. Diregal kadamdangin lo asing area diregal 2 Taiwanese in Palau this past week that lost their lives. One at a hotel and the other one diving. And we also want to extend our condolences and sympathies to their families during this time. We diregal mal السؤال المغطي أقلول السليت الرين ما يا رملا ماضي بوس رادرولت اللي بجو وان fantastic Anastasio garubaga asada wasengangele togubets el treasure. He's a national treasure ablur belam selda se fantastic bane sel first el todo la activa los que hace Samael I think he made us all laugh and made us happy ding ganga garubaga donangalil of course en rubaga rablur esar ganga millennial right after Mamad 1945 kadang naseng remembering el time tilov da skura esar elementary school 1959 malmol malmera mizenti elementary intermediate school at 1964 we were saying no sé el mora kwame no attended el trade school and milsuba omlas architecture dibrura alungsel degree in 1969 en garubaga alilut el merbelau emlomura orel mashor gidar other belau sel gotem lorela dodolim le sensei era school in the momrege mera MOC. So from 1970 to 1973 le sensera un vocational instructor era MOC at the time. We were saying no instructional media specialist. Sila nga saying yeah by milali cellular printing era MOC. Emil Elisel dasing printing department. Se dimna kaldil stober saying dire ko wala aurora uktora video ma audio. Amal ko wala media ra blur beral direct. Engila training ngira blur Hawaii ma later a Fiji in those fields. Emlarsel el molmutra closures el media center PCC 2004. You know, with technology things change. Word processing and printing upna change look model dos peringira school. But selo clouding in garuba gara igel kli bela ma tretela da tinga da other bela ulo gasing national treasure to igel shoringil ra radio kada mal samra orang sini igel sode la togor bela kada mera asula igel radio station no se record ringi ma igel dimro model el history rigide yadola bel wilo si sakal morara arangaliged ingaruba adiregal noni atelu serve as a member of board of social security for over 11 years 1995 and more 2006 adiregal me adala Palau language commission adala board a museum adiregal adal sel Palau historical and cultural advisory board ga sel uktunguna tetela klibela ma klibela argiden يا ترى ملا كلوتو تلل يجل أو تعالم كلاودن يعني لون مسير يدل من الوال ورتيال كليبه لا يدل يا قط كلوتو تلل ديرغل المال ملا كلا أنغر ألل رسل الأمل أسل and publication رسل كرسل بلاو سواسل سيل first البلاوان dictionary ريد جيد أسبرين رجال سكول ريد مقدار مرال المرينا سوليل جيرل سي دي جيد أمبينا سنجار روبا سيل أغوت المرأة دي سيرين تقول بلا السيل بلا إنجا سيل روليد مقدار مو سنجار كلال ديمو أورور مدو المقدار منونيات legal لوبنجل المرايل كوك مرينا سولير سيل يخلاو مرارين مرجيد ما 2016 الكامبين غمبس ليلانيا جيمرا رجال البيك البلول يا ما مغدول مدا سيرا باي سولورين سيدا سولورين سنا ديك مرال ميسر سيجيد بتوغا يجل ستوري رادي رو اي ما بتوغا لونغيل الدادو المغلي كريجيد ندينغول سيسا كريجيدا أتلا تلا لكلانgar من سيرا 2007 تجد لا تتلل ناريس اللي تقل من ديب الفانتاستيك تيامل دي جمرال يسل اللي تقل مريلا ديرغل قال روباغا من أضرب لي لا سنة 2011 أني التين مو إبجو من أولا مالدي بلون مساعد روادي رو إيه ما أبو قرة إبجو را أو إيه دي كذا مرة المؤتني الراسل نيا أوتيس الكليب إلى أرجيد ملي ونيل أضام ونيل ملي ونيل أضام ونيل هسبند نرى ونيل بيل ونيل بو ومرة لو سين ترى ونيل دول تراقني ونيل positive role model را وكيرا در أدر بيلام ويكرل أدر بلو بيلام نجا منودي بسرعة درون لدر سيرا March 17 2024 منور أغضون دي كده مالغل تنغات ترى التريال بطوغل الميدانيين ديركو بنجيث وغدا مرينا سوليلا مؤتنيا بإير ناتالي أرباي أناستاسيو مارغاليل التريال ديركو بنجيث رماري كولبي أناستاسيو جوزيف أناستاسيو ما أرغاليل سأل ما أرغاليل دير أماو أبول ماو باميلا أناستاسيو ألفونسو ما تيتي باو لافلين أناستاسيو بينا مربيبي رينيرا رومانا أناستاسيو إغناشيو راسينغال أناستاسيو سبيكر أناستاسيو ميريام أناستاسيو أناستاسيو ليندا أناستاسيو آن ماري أوتونغ Loretta Anastasio, Materul Ngalgel, Ngariam Alfonso, and Ramlig Alfonso. Mar batogol loolel, mar arudal mar arangalgir. Ngoyu seguida mo yimasaingra proclamation, el gira nga roba mo odansi. Tial nia gumrala sing kedro tingil tugobetsel adra boy mal mrenga sulel la contribution nia dimrogolo bangeda kada mrenga sula YouTube ma aigal bekel tretela medial nia mlas el recorda aigal la luz ma habla el contributor mora au ka klibela orgib ma tretela dar adra bela. He's truly a treasure. Diregal Sodel dirigan mo kaisini lang kada madangil wasing ambera kan pakter yidem ngari ganges and more veterans mo sil malal sil ngara blur belo ma tara blada bagat pi iluro lo material veterans association of blur belo amalasam al oldage mo madangil wase tarwata tiger rogul other belo ngara al sel belo mai krel belo te kergere emlesur bro ingarang nat tale soldar blur amrigen cloud to tell about the yellow urling en cloud to tell te ayer uknesul el dollar no ser al veterans era blur velo maybe gangar vela edrigam be tal joiner tel veterans association bgadogora se moral officer president el bo kama kida mo collect information man officer gid open الملاقي information a number the contact 767-2403 of course email of course president at Palau president.info ma agigu at Palau president.info agida asil send again information al me so we can reach out to start to compile informational help our veterans ergid etiada di announcement el mora atirgel ngar al sel belaw material ngar ekrel belaw ele tara amle onte de ma blur amlegela ase ay gasel bonil service mo beot tertigal veterans ngar ekrel blur belaw el mutel merme mun cloud to la bodo de ngeido il dois mal waset ngargere agare possibility sobre il me mo bolonga ase magra bolongat mokro bis magra bol service tigalat sel bera blur belaw Kautu trel el merguida direga la adar bela bodo ese tigal veteran seguit mal wangara idisir en arger bolse del mal recognizer tira de direga de helper tir direga el temlom regal sande ya PPUC wal ultbdis el announcement rase temo raise sel rate rafforzens real almel longim el buil mlonia teledr tel nombre gal sandel mitra ar staff ra PUC maradra bor de sera gotrurior en no sé el return a CEO ma a chairman of board ma minister of finance maradra piwa no sé del mut el mitro ventrir of course a minister artiam el mo help pergiden di kada mlonia tertilo ase gamlut el mo mesertial kami amla terkli le radra ablu arara nelo ase tel tora solar gora agire longak tarara adengin de galonga seri e kami agora dim nomel elertia kamluten mongil mga taklil mergida radra ablu mang neutuir seguid el meeting gora mlomeseri PUC na tabdinga tingel la mongela regulator lo ase waisen de gadoruta egal rates mo July 1st Legida ordi dam na trok la el rate ra April 1st mo June dori lol tirak rafpak emrania kida gira no mesertial sel sono mesra di el asils ya di el asils ay moralu ma adeiser muy moralu mungira del nome se al sumo malara alu asils en agira el minus aru ra deiser ora goda teblong em ska imol right ndegal girel ndegal giremel ari ala alu tenga plus ran mutli mora artia ay giren motma geruli sel aru ala dengim Gumra lo se parte requirement la idea del message regulation تقريبا مغتقلي مثل سل لجي سانغر تيال كير لا دنجين مو بلغتق واسين سل لجي سانغر ين تقدر على لا سيلز تقدر على لا ديسير أي كم مطمع تقدر على لا أدنجير سيا كير اللي قوم ده سؤال رابلا أو سبيرسي ده سين مغرام بلغتق المرتين متى مران مثال واسين مغادر توب ده سلو الأصلي كده سيسل ساندير عملا ميمو هذا مناسب ده تبديس السبلمنتال مرة olvira galulaw mlamu la regular session kada manero asing aregel mal tokol mklotu trel ngar alsel o musindri ang yeson mora adrablu yesora child raising subsidy lo bara dar taklug mero dar taklug emru ringil mo o rogul ngal ngal garbelaw trigel rolin mo beot dirigel el yeson mor trigel التيرا أملا غلقر أقول مرقرير دي ملا اس مالو بنشون مالو دي غوريري سيسل أقام على دار تكلو المرار بكلاد كديري غنغاري سل التريال ملسورة تروي ميم التلا المرغد التلا أما ملار سل tax refunders سل first 8,000 in taxes that they paid إذا غنغاريجل بتوغل جيد أوسبيل ورورترا إيجال غاغروس المينستري جيد الكلوتو تريلا ألورا for example hospital جيد غاري نورسل بلاد هاير تير غاري additional جيد المو هاير تير أبليلا بوليس is the same education is the same so قدمال دي ماليرا رادر والبيرا غلولا لو سي تيا كلوتو تريل supplemental جيراد المريض الأورتير سلغت المريض السبائلين دريان غاريا نرياد المير مرافع فيستيفال أوف باسيفيك آرتس مايكرو جيمز الأورتير تيال اليوسان أن so we're hoping لو سين موسيل مريض المغتموك لا ما أدرى أبلوها دقل سالمو وسوي بقارندير قد دريغل عمره لو سين سيل ديلا باستورا ولا سي there's a time for everything ما يقادين غاريا تيمل كده عم بنيرا سيا أولى كده partly كده منيرا supplemental المرتقد التايم there was two things من هذا المساس full year operation or tax reform and compact ريد that came into place ما يقدر تبلغ عملا مبرق ما قلت يا الsupplemental عملوا دارس ده يقدم ده سيا يقام كلوتو تلريد مغتمقنا دين جرين غريا أو دول ده دولاب المغتمقنا مغدا سيدا سيدا ناس ميجا ودول بدقت مكلي أدريغل تراكم راسين نامو تايم مال مغتطلو يني أدر بلا كده عملوا رئيس أو دودير أدر غفرمنت ما national government ما state government دي دريغل رئيس أو دودير أدر private sector مغدا مال لو نيتر أدر البيرا غلولو راسين نامو قلدل بلا مساعدة تيال تورا minimum wage نريا بيلا هاوس نريا سينات نريا بيلا سينات en our house edrigal el democracy al supplemental godiolni tase ngidi morur tel me ma da signing dasen namo time of course the proposing as at least mo falor tel ordim namo government degal si il dionas habitan e obes habitan ndi asigal dik mo sa egal rogol gidam gatmokla أيجا غوياس مثل دلهم مسألة ما بقرده إلا يسيا تيسبعتين لا ماكس مورس ما سي سمغرا مينستر جينكينز كأقرأ روبا قرنا لهم سيل دوناس هذا اللهم لقد موياسا أريسيل ما يجيل دولاس من المرور روغوي هذه من عياس التيار ريسيل وما بقرده إلا anyway دي كده دي بقويس وسه of course April 25 مورين سيل صورة ريد كده مودي بسرة إلى الميلويك كده مرة قوامرة كلوغو المهم كده دور سيل conference وتقول sustainability conference رقوام وري رسيق كده مرة غريس الموت المرة following week so with that بايك open أولا لغير لاغير مانير شولا
Ali. To time, Mr. President, ministers, beklado ng artero ko. President, I'll start with the solar because you just so say que el babil la a chairman of PPUC tiyak na post ng Facebook page office of the president. Ikaw na mention nila siya July, and then the new IPP rates will come online. Akor omisingil in akor visually omisingil siyang. So there will be a third column, basic rate, fuel rate, and then IPP rate. Atang and then which tells me say kita amo wasing telal sen sa mo IPP rate. So you add those three, and then you come up with monthly billings for electricity. Or maybe hindi ka understand the economics of it, so maybe you can provide that.
So, that would be even more confusing. Sel important, sel the calculator tiyal AFPAC.
I see.
AFPAC sel adjusted fuel adjustment rate. Hala dito mo sel AFPAC lo, wasim magala calculator. AFPAC sel total expense. Rala de iser mo si se bringir. Kung sel total de iser. Emro kung sel amount tra dengil ben producerin mul divide rin mas sel cost per kilowatt. I see. I think beotel lom sodela atiagit. Mlani mle costra de isel meso ise bertel arala atel dengil mururi. Edri ngani costra IPP meso is baral tel dengi. Bung tel total malsum mle 400,000 for example arala IPP e 5 million arala de iser. Godo aigal tablol mo let's say 5.4 million e un tel 17 million kilowatts el ben producing and we'll divide it as cost price per kilowatt. That should be the how you calculate over what it costs for a quarter or some. So depend on tell how much solar was charged. Tell diesel was charged. I got what math and you have 12 rate. Sige alagang malmo confusing. Sige sell bila nga ako na sell fuel rate. Sell fuel rate. Sell AFPAC. That's the way it should be calculated. Partra giren mo mruni mo adjust sa regulation and mo tautani mo dekal confusing. Dekal giren nga separate charge ng artel bitang. Nang giren ro mesin se ngari adura sales ngari adura aday ay gamot mage mas kausel la dengir ko.
I guess sel ko ramle confusion ra was it 12% ng largel may arala di ala sales ng arala nga sige dal dumang abalua ko ra miligi sel mo mga
I see. Gira dal momdang yelo ase sige dal hindi ko babil what is it called the energy rate
basic tariff
hindi ay gatto ngari sel el wal say I want to get a cover about distribution cost say wal fixed cost. Why say es el imo wal cover ay gagi dele arala alu fuel mang tial producer tial dengi angara sales angara diesel me ngira ngar segid o ka hindi a problem regulation gida singira mo tabdil mo separate hindi kasi hindi tia beisra a uspelangal kilowatt malsum kamlat tabdil lo arsay la artel imura charge embro asing game reduce ngal arala alu imla mo gigarel alu almost peri I see. So I think the transparent process say amrura dengi angara sales angara diesel me ay gamot mage otb diesel arala afpa and so sige the energy I guess the energy cost
President naka-mention na say kung lao meeting member at PUC and I'm assuming la sit kasi I'll calculate that del PSL energy rate del PSL el proposed rate del kuklan kuran all da itamle take into account del issue lang andi how it's reflected on the bill alubeng ngaring they need to recalculate dimla kalkurak wise la sit tamla da calculated yan
okay so first explanation marang ang uldur staff ta sa tia lagi implementing na last year June makasi or November there the tigam sa dunya sa tia already tariff from gimlem establishing nagiram lotungi hindi ako kasi hindi kamya you fail to otin mara adra blulu ase ngrased reduction or tial alala alu based tial el dengil molari asils. Well, one of the problems ra calculation or tir el blood of tigeringi ato triga amlangu tial total alu e divide ni ra adengil producer ni the producer ni el dortrani emlabes lo ase ta nani solar emne provider tial el dengi. Actually, it's a mistake number. Let's they're coming back later or sisabringil makasi tia mistake. You've obviously made a mistake. Go back, correct it. I got every quarter ng mortab dayang. So July, mortab is correct the MOS radablu. You made a mistake. Admit you made a mistake and let's correct it.
Understand lo ase tel power tel cellular tel IPP selungi layang at malungi layang at malola ra clone energy ra solar at the turn off ay maybe the generators I gigit the tal mention ni chairman ra PPUC ra presiding lo ase ay gigit mo cost savings melang I can every quarter calculate the segid or turingil divide tel aralalo
say that's the suggestion we've made to them. Say, change our regulation on mawai segid. Bora actual cost ra solar ma they say motmak e segida otabdi sel arala dengi in sel afpak. Segida suggestion. So they're hopefully by July them adjust their regulation more reflect their sell al moral cost. The other things we have a system that calculate based on 6 months ago. Aligida rule rate lang based rala alura 6 months ago. Tial alua maybe atibule giadlo sell time. That's one of the suggestions. I say go back and look at it. I said just 1 month behind the minister. Right? That's one of the things that they're going to look at in adjusting the regulation. Like, sige darulim marat rablo moran nilo sing ngara malu ok nam tengale alala dengi diri ngara ba elang ok nama sara alu dengi diri kamran morio ungira lati blog edi segi dem arada mo understand what said it's related I think sel baragia station adeng understand what arala alu rela okirel arala dengi girel maraba lamba sarala alu diselbol awana en Mamringirtira understand.
The last clarification, ela kamil kasing kinil change sa regulation. Ngaral PUC at change sa regulation, alu mga diangot alala niya kung ngaral change sa regulation.
Na piwa.
Piwa?
Oh.
So the president.
So and that takes time. That's why I say hold the ilan rogun morul mungil majula implement.
So the presidente. Gusto nga kamara Minister Finance. Minister man lang isel clone disruption ng mga government tamlo print type checks. And that was because of cyber ransomware. This update boil was where are we from that issue? Kadamla back in full operation and did we ever catch anybody who did that or so lang?
Thank you for the question. Yes, we did have a system interruption. We were able to recover within a week, and we were able, within that week, to issue payroll using the system. Since then, we have continued to improve security in our system and continue to operate at full capacity for our system. So it was a good test for us, and our procedures, our backups, our security protocols were all very effective, and we're very happy to report that. This type of disruption can happen for any reason. Could be a hardware failure. It could be a communication failure, such as fiber optic line gets cut, or it could be any type of disruption. But we feel comfortable in the way we've set up the finance system, that our backups, our disaster recovery, our business resumption plans are adequate for our needs in case these challenges do present themselves in the future.
So there was a very detailed article online yang mention raw sa itial sistema alam lang niya employee alam niya open ra malware, and then that's how it infected. Siyang way say give you.
It's quite common, and I'm sure almost everybody who uses email frequently and goes online to any website will often experience a strange email that comes in that you don't recognize who is sending, or sometimes it looks like somebody who you know that is sending you an attachment, and then you click on it, and what happens is there is some program that gets installed on your computer. It may not be immediately obvious, but sometimes these programs are disruptive, and they can shut down your computer, so where it's unusable, you have to replace it, or they attack specific data, or they can take that data and share it publicly, or they kind of can take over your identity. And I personally have that problem right now with Facebook. There is another account for myself, and I don't have a government account for Facebook, and they are out there, pretending they are me, and they actually have more followers than my Facebook page. So go figure. But it can happen, and happens a lot. Not everybody reports it. When it happens to the government, we need to find out why it happened and what they were after.
The cultural education about this, I mean, these things happen. Cultural, give them a set tiamral mumgodum. Teo taram kamadal namori rabulad maulang kadim sa cyber security. Cultural, kidra atid malswadan kidra dispay gan masin. Especially other order government, order PPC, order regal agencies. Agirin mal mo korgi klase email mo open ang largel me flash drive mo sis bring largel me. Aga mal logad dal tokoling mal beot al system. Aga gid el program el disruptor system rigid mo. Cloud to trela tia ungil lo sisak al merigid. Girin mo korgi krinit tokoy.
So cell disruption, was it related then akmadul at siya answer ng wasi. Di ako alam ni happen cell time blue bela mamriga alam ni sign ra exchange of notes ra compact tiya kalil ko ra outside element ko ra sorry el mga rebela ul girel say. Is that any reaction to that?
Still tamlas nga ra media ra bebera blue makasing siya dak mulway siya. Ileng ngora coincidental. Hindi kita igel blabodongil tial ransomware kada ko mesera set kada tracing il el mora Malaysia ang area root singil mora Asina ma Russia sera da last the visitor Taiwan at twice I say tell 100,000 attacks they have every day mora government from China tia it's just their way of doing another type of harassment balubang tara mga madaluk ngari lang tanaw mo nga sing sil choice mungira din mo kargik hindi wa the secure border again same situation again.
The last follow up for that every time President namin of press conferencing customs ang have a system ng education is getting to computers finance we and being in the security field myself I know the dangers. Is there some plans na government to give to start ramping up our backups? Because all our systems backup is the customs system backup by the schools, hospital. A lot of ransomware happens to hospitals around the world. So, are we doing anything to further protect the systems and our stuff?
Thank you for the question, Wak. This is a space that once you enter into automation and digital space, you will always have to continue to work on improving your security, improving your systems. So yes, we are not just looking at the systems that finance administers, which include the tax office, the customs, and we support many other systems like labor and even the hospital and the court. So we do take a global view on the overall security, and we have several initiatives that we're putting out to address some of the more current modern type of challenges that we will face. Cyberbullying, for instance, is not necessarily cybersecurity, but it is needs to be legally declared as a crime. Other administrative systems need to be developed to provide more cybersecurity coordination amongst us and our partners, because we are connected to the world. So yes, we are working on these as a matter of daily operations for not just Ministry of Finance but the Republic.
Vigo sa sero dangara JCM one project del lolo mungila Miguel Girela really an assessment ra cyber security ra balwad and identify the weak points and malasam al address and coming up with an overall plan. So ngari consultants that they will send us al Marur say already ngari am lartialo kom lara PNCC in Marur aurora a PNCC and they found us a PNCC is actually in relatively good shape. By the way, national government needs a lot of help. Eleng waigel mologo ngwak la kadong ngelo say oy adama system ni ma igang we have to look at it holistically and we have to have systems for backup. We got to store stuff on the cloud, remote locations, all of those things are set up by protocols and we need I think for all these years we kind of look at the IT department, it's kind of a minor support. Unfortunately, we didn't add more budget in the supplemental, but I think it's an area that we need to expand our resources. We need to give them more resources. It has to be the whole of government. In one area.
And we need to also help the private sector and the general public from these risks.
Yeah.
Education.
Sula.
Okay. So, Morales. Sulang lay. Question lang kamo acting director ngira plago. Ngarngi President tamle mention rengkel Taiwan diver. Saya mau kadi update kita waseng ngara ramle ulam magtamal. Ang erung direk ngarngi sel ngel dalal ngel buy gel sel kariom nari rangat pang. Dalal ngel buy gel milkaps. Ako ramla express ra aku ang tilwasel pornya autopsi mang sepelang se emel koradi awai sirki traktet lagi di tebul guys ke luk se emel sin mergi amsula
sula kambise ngel el diver el dirida atmal dimle tutata momal el baql temle surface el rogui lo masra ten rumida ang duwe ta kamera ni mungi ma kai dalilu tel mo malara kamera ang dimlo digal lo dongali un tene reporter mo digal batikring ida abartak awul matamle report mag mo tiagi mo sigum ndire kadira sko gimma ert marada osi ngredil 46 argil.
The hotel tell mal the orang asuler trigger rogul volunteer ma of course other marine law ngara si orang asula PMA ma of course gal type sha mangaran
Smile air
ma smile air ara gel musut trigger
ongingyang
Macam dia kalau mesti kita kurang update information yang kalau macam nak update
O inge dir ka mara la uriol gidel mo ingel mladra hote. Hindi ka dira Taiwan.
Mr. President, kurang related dan mora, tadi kita kurang bela bulis saya ang kaya kita chief ati kami appointed dan mo acting. First of all, how long is your appointment? Nani ako ra timeline sa appointed lang mo
Hindi open.
So, Mr. President, tadi kirawa say with Levit nga rekil bela we maygal temporary appointments sa chiefs. Tergat ang kuati tangara di maintenance process alu ngani ako ra proactive plan ra Bureau of Public Safety ginala Aureo ngurati change every week, so I'm assuming la si tergal adi kuktimol muru like el day-to-day matters and ding maray ngara ngani ako ra like a 6-month a year plan ra bla pulis ra ko ra ngara management level with him not an island then ko ra ti akata para sil domestic to ngari armol 15-20 days based on the memorandum and was manage cycle day-to-day affairs. Para ti kera sa ngari nga ko ra plan lalo ngari nga this is going to be the way it's going to be more rest of this.
Control there's still a director. Tira ka bola ka director. Acting director adi implementer a plan that exists. Maigel reforms al doru, maigel al ukurar operations, al the trial improve. Aige malmol mal al ngari. Namo tokol do sa atin saya ka advantage ra sel opportunity trial chiefs mar ok trial lieutenants and los il mo director amstrete alla mata mesa tiala rangala aurora bla police even though they don't have the full responsibility klorangaral day to day operation angani maybe seluk long term planning tirma directora at magloro ni detail operations rabekil silsa triga ang artel operations rabekil sils and that's the experience that we're building eventually wayek tilong ako lang kalde al director sral mea de kal ngartial permanently kdo sigra adal mo fulfill tial responsibility mong tiang ukti tetelaurerer lo que diga aswadro sigra best al adal mo and build capacity from within model style bebera style and ding gumra sing it's effective akmara sulela achieve lo ka mlangu tian ngaral sura
question nga kamora minister mutul minister ang mahal ko ram netlo news luwase how ma ara historical ambra dois el ngarnya iusir other bela ul blarsei kom la sai ngara agreement level me se almost mo dia tretel sei aigang mlamel iui sang ngara tretel sei
man sulang malungi total mar adrogui wai se stia lumo lorior alak alwedem le 2022 ngarnya pabiel mlerngak el mlara institution radois el Göttingen University lo aisel wase temlo o mesagel archive tirem lo matigat mongania human remains el ngaragel ko kora abebira artifacts el ngara sela gal museum bertir mongol mola al dadur segidi tulungit el wasendia mem modruk latara adal mem el bol kora fellow el osu para tetrela gagid el iuis Mongloria aldadur al sela ministry aging iltia Mr. Michael Muto ngagil oklurlek. Munso ka Bible tribals modi sel tretele laurio sela lomu ulmedelang raw erak por sigidul ko kumakalom so de la agreement. Kami Mr. Muto mura. As modi sel failure ka may gelom subul blongi.
Ani malngituta Mr. President, malngituta marugulada. Akkuradi mo musada segidale tel project tra fellowship. Segidam na mention niya minister tamle reach out tel mera Palau sa 2022 lo sigar trigel adal sorin murla research sa tel bulura katingen. Segidra tamlo sigar 6 fellows. Makno apply sa ikit fellowship matingil tira di teterul adra Tanzania ma imol adra Cameroon ma imol adra New Zealand ma diakal nga kil kontera Palau. So akno la balurado is 2 months el mo murula research el gerel find out sing agel using tamaral other Palau o nga natum la collector ngi ngam mlang purpose. So, sa higit 2 months, aktir kalmlo may sa balura, Michael Bebra Museum, Michael Mora Hamburg Archive, SL Hamburg Archive, tola Michael journal sa Agustin Kramer. Sel journal sa ringi ako knemet sa sang oingeral tumle visit travel law lang alektegil EU isa. Magi direk kalmlong mesagel malingel adal de kalobangge kaling of course ay kay tokorado isangel adal ko direk translate ringi. May gidirikal follower base ay sige del published del 7 volumes of Kramer. So, ay mo sa edel mitigas yung nga 7 el use yung nga sige del bulura katinggen. Nga ngisel imol el mutal 1 yung nga address 10 dirikal mo part del repatriation masile plaster mask. Imol mask ta musang laning sa del description sa kukura mada adrang sa del one mask may gagida ukmal sa del 2 months ra research nga so I game le der kam laning sa del planning for 2 years ma el 2024 may ki der kam le create delegations and mo visit tradois der kam le sana sa del corporate agreement return agel so
para di interested ra tel researcher kau ndo sabe mo ra amo madangel wasay tirkat tewi ng telar di telar sa tamaklo tamakegre sige del kora detail alo bangari ang clear tirkan
agel information adim lang ang clear hindi tamla identify ngaringel imol adra ngar along tumilngi sire ang along ya imol ko adra ngar sele imol use in narabulura adresten at tamla identify sin direct na adra ngar base ra Miguel 4 direct na puluana Miguel 4 use sila southwest ya base ra 8 sa ngel ko tagyakare between 6 to 9 years old ngel ko class 60 years old.
Igang full skeletal system?
Hindi nga di skull mo ko. Nga isel imol individual full skeleton. Nagel baby la di skull.
Ilan niya ngodol gidi.
Ngaramle reason it pakalekta bon sa Arabella.
Halak koramos mo disay. During the ceremony, Bulu rado isamle admit mutamle maghit emlarngi ay kal lulal iyu sa dimla kal ngaramaral teletele lo omong yu laklalo tedre kal mlo masaw telwasing kada ngoy gidal mo context sel time ang gorm dani aklol competition ra blura Europe at mutrata ako tamo ngerung mumle klo agora movement tertil mom subra blulat Michael EU silang ila da kadil EU sir Palau dire kan ngani EU sir Micronesia mablul adrogir ma Africa klor niya ngara Africa ma do Israel al time ako kurang ngara revolution matokora malasam engage lo bangela blulat el tral face up el mortegi del kukoram le pastor tir e malasam el lomok klamal terngi betam ngada du arogul bulul wasi kami made engage the boda kawadanget pumlangra dilub edo mesak mo kadam garang e kay ngaseu lolu tegal human remains el morabulumiu mang se ongoing project radois Yakuk tara amnabo ko simul mergida abatuk patangela way kagid el fellow ma scholarships el dakadi bolo suba iu sendiri kal mamsuba gel kuk treasures tiram le collectors el time ra between 1900 el mongana 1910.
I-follow up with 2 questions. Ako kaktikan formula say German government tamle admit.
Yeah. Men ngada do omte university. Again, kada mura context there's a time se aigal EU sa milngay during expeditions funded by individuals malubong gora entities. Hindi akal sal mal se the link kanyin mura government tertir. Hindi of course a government tertir all nga seo masaudr se gidra taadrira mirula kal to ko.
Kada expect tegal remains in meron nga.
Sige, ako ramle biyot luldo somak mo tatabong ang edal dio tura bak se check in. Hindi gim lo matigin ngin waseng ngarinya batokol tilang tingil tial lurior. Mong hindi ka dil biyot adol to bata. Mga sige dal university or lo mangela airlines ma transport companies ang ani abek patingala paperwork marail. Hindi tirikal di OI sel waseng ngarinya tara le request tratar tergagi del adra polwanat pun se edal gora DNA tirkala. Ma babilinya kam lor sera mande lol ngi tertil mo se kam momes at mga tel segid lorior yal sabi elem extracta DNA raw era al merbelaw e kasingile loregdam matarata me ukta DNA ra adabela se edal omes ak mutergat alam le adra gel ma se lorior amra elam se lo mrak segid e totura crate e subo tama mga kada expect ra ngara late May mo later on sula
hal ko gora milsada gora Egal EU sending gora ministra tourism di sokal mo musesel el girel tial si el blangari el girel tial adram al bak gidam denga segal gora amr al bak la degal they're risky sel bay gora sodal diregal di highlight niya se sel do bay idel gorior Ida ada bela mal mot magarrogo e gainga seora ga idel si magdamal ya one entity all of us el acknowledge ni so acknowledge ni our rangers are Goro state tigamal all first on the sea the chief I say director acting director magdamal mrenga sula rangers are Goro state el agarrogul sigil ngani tira all ngarse all ngase orgida mo just shows ra uklisi el aurora Goro state ma partnership lom gela state ra gidel mal maklol gida ukmo albangan sulang nga sula gobernador ma director rangers ma tirogul staff tirogul rangers tira dirigan man la moy taklol tab nga sa tira adra marin dol nga siga sula
Mang dilas til follow up sa liya. Ngirokul iyo same to kadan di gila pula na.
Kaya gidrogul bila sa ami. Hindi siya dekal bol ender telurior. Ang adir ka patok le sira kukim molding la bebera museum sa tukuk no mention of mga possibility. Ay ka patokol ay ka maklon museum ngawak la. Mong patok ay nga archive till even they don't know. Maulang direkal tabayol ngitri gidak mo bol patok ara adal gora ngat tagid el field el research. Ito open na asim gidel lol haraw gidel mong yamsube o mesep mong ngwang ra tele lagi gida klalo e mal to ka klokle del direct al store dra al se lagi gida museum
I think couple questions sa ko raw minister Utoy Pablo mention na president ra mga swila for state rangers especially get to rasi understand nga rin selul may request na for state malala loan and mo masort ira understand todo lo bang kemel ki sel ki la loan through the national government ADB sa ngara status sa ngin if it's going to
Thank you, Lei, and I'm very happy to report an update. Thank you for reminding me. I have met previously with the governor and updated him separately. On my last trip, I was able to schedule a call with the Asian Development Bank and was able to negotiate the loan that we have been planning on receiving. It required actions on Palau's part, including Kora State's part, so it delayed the process a little bit, but I'm happy to report that I was able to negotiate the loan. The planned signing and disbursement is expected in May, and I will be updating the governor formally that this is the expectation. We cannot confirm any funding and an agreement to them until that loan is signed with the Asian Development Bank. But in the meantime, we can work on the actual document that we will be signing between ourselves once that funding is approved. So that should happen this year, and I understand they will be okay until then. So this is really support for the state for this year, and then next year we do expect to also support them again in this fashion.
Thank you, Minister. The follow-up on a different matter. So kung misaygal kung scholarships last year kabelment tamlo kami amle authorized through a supplemental budget mo yan para scholarship percentage shortfall last year like requirement. Kung Mr. Selngara they're looking at about 5 million this year based on the number of approved applicants. Mang akira ilalmal pa sa compact nga niya ako plan funding pero hindi ka ngat supplemental budget lang di additional funding mo para scholarship para tira ko ang gutakan sa receive along sa second quarter.
Thank you, Lei, and I'm sure Minister of Education and the President may want to add to this, but we were able to negotiate continued assistance with the Pell Grant. So we are expecting that our people will still be eligible for this source of funds for school. But I think it's more important that we were able to get support from the United States to lower the cost of attendance. And I think that's probably more meaningful in terms of support for our students. We will continue to seek additional opportunities. There are quite a few scholarships that are being offered by institutions directly. While I was in Japan, I heard of at least 2 that are offering scholarships to Palauans to study in Japan. And maybe I can ask Minister Jenkins, because he is involved in some of the scholarship awards, and maybe you can mention the visit by Wichi and the Taiwanese program.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Well, thanks for that. As you know, the government of Taiwan has been very generous in providing financial assistance to students to attend their colleges and universities, and many of those who have returned to Palau now and are working. This year, we were very fortunate last week to provide interviews for all of the applicants for this year's scholarship, and we had 16 applicants, and so right now, there are 13 of the MOFA, which is the Ministry of Final Affairs, full scholarships for those students. The remaining 3 scholarships, the ambassador has kindly offered to negotiate with their offices and see if they can come up with some additional funding. It's a very rich and welcome opportunity for our kids. I'm very happy to hear that the Pell Grants have been renewed. That's a primary source of funding for our kids. Ultimately, we also have another source, which is very much of a quiet source, and that is through an organization known as the WICHI Group. WICHI stands for Western Interstates Commission on Higher Education. And it's a private organization that has gone to universities and colleges throughout the western United States, as far east as Montana, I think is their last one, and enrolled 170 colleges and universities to provide reduced tuition rates to students coming from WICHI member states, which Palau is a member. We joined membership last year, and thanks to the hard work of Delegate Gibbons and Senator Tabalwal, that's what we needed. They had needed to pass a resolution, and so we are a member state. This past year, we had 9 students receive WICHE assistance for a total of about $125,000 in tuition reduction for them. WICHE basically reduces tuition from international student rates to either resident rates or residence rates plus a small percentage. So it's a huge change, and hopefully it'll make a big difference to, as the scholarship board goes through assessing the needs, as more and more students become aware of the WICHE schools and apply to those schools, it may be able to, they can then reduce the total amounts from the rather large $40,000 for tuition in many schools to a much lower amount and be able to spread that among more students. So those are real good possibilities which we're hoping for. Thank you.
And just قاعدة دولية كذا تل number 5 million تدخل بس النمبر تيا مقدر تلو صادرية scholarship. In fact, سيرة دعنا سنة one of the issues يلون ترينا school أبلو لنا لقرا يقال funds الدوسبة. So if you recall, in Malaria time, there was a increase in labor fee. The collectory, bolsa the increase in scholarship. In the end, the look at labor fee one must school. So if you look at the amount of the scholarship, it went up this year. Increase in other law. Dik pay was a pay matella. Say, "Yeah, the real taras in Murad Alvilo." Say. Think about increasing the labor fee. Loot increase our load more a scholarship. A moctegar gida was a my load of me by help educator and again in my gallery. So it's there's a direct relationship. You know, you brought it up, Makase. I got a tell and see that other all be missing. Maybe it's time that we review that. Tell is it $125 a year or $250 for 2 years? I don't know that makes sense. I mean, I don't know, 90,000 H2 visa or. You know, Singapore, $200 raman the minister. You get $125 a year. So, 150, sorry. 330 years. So, anyway,
If I can,
way below what's normal and by opportunity in Merida by improve not only scholarships, so we could use the money to help our CLWIOA program and other programs and close to tell and get a level one. Sweden.
yeah, if I can add, we in the legislation that approved the compact, they do talk about in-state tuition for FAS citizens, and I thought that was a valuable contribution by the United States because we have been asking them for additional support, especially in key positions such as doctors and other specialist professionals. But we were also to bring Palau on the same page with the other FAS to allow our students and people to make it easier for them to get a job, because previously you had to register with Homeland Security. So in addition to the assistance, the lower cost of education, continued assistance to them, they are now able to get a job easier to support their studies while they're in school. So I thought that was a big achievement.
And one of the the visiting congressman, even Secretary of Defense, Interior, State, Blolo Maklat Kartil was a bayring Cuba, free education. What are you doing for us? Help program see my Lungil school come offer. So two things. One, of course, a Pell Grant, my in-state tuition. Dingar is additional sell Tora Hersa. Se allow lo sell suma underdeveloped area. And they're eligible for scholarships, especially in the medical field. Matsum to toktang. So ngari abelsin is forgive. Se dirigan mo alar ang liad let's say ngaram brigida soril mutan merbelaw. They will have debt forgiveness and other opportunities. Siluk to tora medical field. It's going to create more opportunities. Hopefully, more school more medical school. I mean, nursing and all those areas. So, Yeah, sulang.
Malilas President, question again kami na-mention sa program, malas mala information at tingin ako veterans. Mga belaw, mga rekal belaw. Nga nga ako ra, although bang kala US military was provide official information. Paano bang depend that other reach out to you?
Nga ng Seattle malara US military, di kita muna sa tortri lista del US citizens. I see, malsum lista del US citizens ang adeka, hindi kalsi adong amaran number. So, hindi rin kalul tuwi to get the word out information on me. Kung may amday mostrar ng kita, di talibet mo US citizens ang ngara, sold out mo. They make them sign. So.
Silver Belaw will recruit most of the other Belaw, so I would assume na singara.
Oh, instead of the original list.
Yeah.
Hindi rin kalbato ka ng lagay dahil di nga ra igil bebrablo etmo. And we want to count all of them. Alin di kaldi tigil bel recruiter tigil na rakwame mo material nga ra ng lagir. One of the things that I guess we want to share that's coming up in May. Yung area tarang alagel belal he will be the first full bird colonel. He will be Colonel Owens. I give you a detail, but hopefully mo siya attend the ceremony in May sir po para Washington. So yeah, of course family rebels. Yeah. So yeah. Narad. You know, and we want to recognize them, and we want everyone. Lo ay seguido kasi agi solda, and of course al US al Palawan, it doesn't matter. Sel ngaria ancestry tin merbelaw bukas ngaria taiser tin solil muter merbelaw. Siya sa justify mo ram regalo kasi tiga mo niya time tel muter may we have to have the services ngara ablur belal helper tir.
Medikas karon question na director Director, mal ko ra to ka complaints ra nakasram ra umara sales sa mga tuaw do na mo itra ka men kinala ul nga sira develop pa igal sales sa mga rakten. Hindi ko kurang sa to adra bluet namosori del namo start the detail take law into their own hand to protect them from the solase o unda kalom das pula senda kat sa elay kan hindi ka katalegal case report the warabla police el result ngara ko ra real kinel say para na men sa isense ngara ko ra plan ngara warabla police no so
yang amal ya plan ng gilel mo yang tirigal dir ko no office next press conference or CBL po niya me OIC.
You're Messiah.
I'm saying the truth. Hindi representa tanga tinakal mal total el concern na maasaling anyar other ready lo trawa Bureau of Agriculture o mara kukaul $2 a pound. Mal excited tingal maasal tiram la spend 6-7 months and spend out all the marula master city sell the bongra quick before and completely wiped out. Understand ngi wala tira kamanekul activity nila last month or bang tatol adam la as tira klase kam check bla police wa sai kal issues ang kire kamama man mo sorry start to take the law into their own hands.
Ngaria suspect ngaria
Everybody has a suspect, but it's hard to say.
yeah, okay.
Ano to
Hindi ako umila.
complaint till filed. Lang bato karma asan dere loop me malor nga kalok tel gok to kara labor.
Yeah.
Maari ka kung le file a complaint. Lang umsin li tadi tokoy din dim lakal problem bulus actually file a complaint.
Terigal la mga tutuan nga kasi tamle ko lar police. Mga sumto ko lar police ang masuming la unless required til mabla police file a complaint and that's a different thing. Tega maasin o they can do at call complaint o sitin ka at least 3 cases that I know tamle ko lar police tamlo matako ay sertilo sa ngaram happen maybe talaman la siya sing ay I hope and sabi nga niya follow up rin mal mo upset.
Okay. Yeah, Girel, file a police report. Sulang. Sige dal, information na dablul me aklaw tutrel. Sulang. Kabang ako. Oh, day job. Otherwise, yung kurang na umrekti al press conference rin kita, namo tadsigang madringel. Kom sulal, tol maklorong mi kada utang al rogoy. Meral silseng April 10. So that mo recognize it together. October al sils. So happy birthday. And more Listerson John. Yang airport obiang. Oy. Ngara David Yuri. Gadri ngara road and equipment. MPII. Madri gal Proline and Butulda. Ngara lenden. Tiyo di ngara minister ka obiang. Teme dal ngara. Ngari amra other yong ngara budget and finance. Edre gal lastly ngari kabang Niraklang ngara Bureau of Health Services, ancillary services. Happy birthday Mortir, congratulations. Adios salam kal tangatra bekla other belau, ma belo other blue belau. Mauk nexel bodagaswes. That would be on the kita mo sora mo ada kabul do press conference. Sige da schedule kita girel. So kada kaisi wakra sora ko. Sula.